Okay, I have some updates to share on the dashboard radio mount. A couple big changes to it and one smaller change. So let's go over what those changes are and what this new version is going to look like. The first big change is that we now have a quick release mechanism on this. That is by far the most requested feature when it comes to the dashboard radio mounts. So I'm happy to announce that that will be integrated. On the side here you can see we have a wing nut. All you have to do is unscrew that wing nut. You can pop your bolt out and the plate releases from the base. So what that means is that you can keep the base in place on your dashboard and your radio can remain in place on the plate here, and then it becomes very, very easy to just pop this back into place. This side of the plate has a square hole. This is a carriage bolt, so you just need to make sure that that gets inserted all the way in. And toolless install and removal. All right. Second change, on the base, we have more orientations for how that you can actually orient the plate on the base. So if you have it installed like so, this is how the original version was oriented. You can do that, or if you want, you can rotate it. We have basically 30-degree increments for how you can place the plate on the base. Probably the biggest advantage to that is just that depending on the contour of your dash and how you want your base mounted, gives you a little bit more flexibility in how you can do that, and then you can kind of rotate your plate to compensate. Okay, so those are the first two changes, and then the third one is on the bottom side. So a couple changes here. One, we are making a switch to the 3M VHB tape. This tape is just even more heat tolerant than the previous one we were using. And then since we don't have any bolt holes on the bottom of this anymore, we're including a strip through the center as well instead of just on the perimeter. And this is just going to help stabilize this a little bit more and give you a little bit more adhesive there when you're sticking it to your dash. I've been wanting to install my little Cobra 19 back in my truck for a while now, so this is a good opportunity to do that. Let's go out to my truck and I'll show you how this thing gets installed and we'll get a radio on it. Okay, so we're out in the truck and I have the dashboard radio mount, I have the hardware pack that comes with it, and I have an alcohol wipe that also comes with it. The first thing that I'm going to do is get the radio mounted on the plate. So to do that, I'm going to take this off, and we will need the hardware pack that comes with the radio mount. So here is my OEM radio bracket. It came with the radio, and we are just going to use this hardware to get this thing mounted up. Try to center this as best as I can. This looks pretty good. Now, the plate you're going to get is sized to accommodate a wide range of bracket sizes. So you can see this is a pretty narrow bracket that comes with this radio. But if you do have full-size radio with a wider bracket, those will also fit on here. Okay, then the next step is going to be to actually get the base in place. So let's change the camera angle here to show the dashboard and we'll get that installed. Step one, very important. Take out the isopropyl alcohol wipe and we're just going to clean this surface. Make sure there's no grease or anything like that that is going to affect the adhesion of the double-sided tape. Wipe this down really good. And we're going to give this a second to let it dry. I'm happy with how that looks, so I'm just going to remove the backing off of all of the strips of tape now. So that's what you're working with when all the backing has been peeled off. The dashboard in this truck is pretty wide open here and square, so I've always just put these pretty much front and center here. That's where I'm going to put this one as well. Make sure that this is in an appropriate spot, and just going to set it in place and give it some pressure. And that should do it. Now this tape, similar to an adhesive, it does take some time to fully set up and reach its full strength. So I'll throw those specs on the page here. You can also check the description of the video for more information about that. Okay, and just like that, our base is installed, and all that's left to do now is put the plate and the radio in place. Now the way I ended up getting the radio on here was so this square hole in the plate was towards the back. I think that's just going to be a little bit easier, because what that's going to do is allow us to insert the carriage bolt from the rear, and then your wing nut will be installed on the front. You could also do it the opposite way and have the wing nut on the back if you would prefer that. There we are. This is all in place, and that's really all there is to it. So there we go. Dashboard radio mount with quick release is installed. I will put a link to this in the description of this video if you want to go check it out on SKYMO.com. Any questions, just leave me a comment. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks for watching.